Hello, good evening, and welcome to the match build-up from the LFC Daytrippers. It's a new show. It's what we're going to try do on YouTube before every game. About an hour before kick-off with the team lineups, predictions, people's feelings on it, and we'll see how we get on. Listen, it's a new concept for us. We're going to try to get some viewers on, and it's very easy to access. It's a link that we put into our Flicksport app. Be about an hour and a half before every game. You can access that via laptop, tablet, phone. Once you have a set of earphones in, the sound should be absolutely fine. I'm going to bring the first guest on because he's there, he's waiting. It's Barry Devaney. Barry, how are you, my man?
Not too bad, Gav. Yourself?
Good. You're very welcome. How are you?
Aye, all good, man. Just watching the Bayern Munich game here for the build-up, the hour game,
Yeah, good stuff. What score are Bayern Munich at the minute?
1-0 up. Second half just kicked off, yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Barry, listen, I'm going to read out the team to you. I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah.
I know I have. It's been rumoured for the last 24 hours or so, but it's come true now. So it's Alisson in goal, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Fabinho, Joe Gomez, Andy Robertson is your back four. Hendo and Milner make up, it looks like a two in midfield. And then you have Shaqiri, Minamino, Jota, and Origi looks like he'll start up front. It's Barry, I'm going to be honest with you, it's one that's been rumoured for the last 24 hours or so, and it makes me a little bit nervous because as easy as this game looks, we seem to stutter through these groups, no matter how bad the sides are around us.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I think next week's a big week for us. So the way I see it tonight, like the back four, you got to keep the same back four for fluidity. The last few games, we're strong enough in the middle, experience-wise, and then I think it's the best time that you know what I mean. You have to rest maybe the front three. I expected them maybe to start and come off after an hour like last week.
Yeah,
but maybe Klopp thinks give the boys a run out and then bring the big guns on for the last half hour if they're in trouble. But that's risky. But it's kind of, as I say, next week's kind of bigger week with Atalanta and City, so maybe it's the best time to do it. But
yeah, there's four big games coming up when you look at it. Like tonight, you've West Ham at the weekend, you've Atalanta midweek, and then you have Man City just before the international break. And listen, he's every right to shift the squad around and stuff like that. The back four goalkeeper, listen, you've absolutely no issue with. You've no issue with whatsoever. What I'm looking at is the two midfield. When you watch them at the weekend against Sheffield United, although I thought Wijnaldum done a hell of a lot of work in that too, and Henderson was very good at dictating play and keeping a shape about us. I don't think it's mobile enough when you compare Hendo and Wijnaldum to Hendo and Milner. That's just me worry. But there's a couple of lads up the top end of the pitch. Jota started very well. Minamino will be looking to prove something. Shaqiri most definitely, and Origi 100% is going to look to prove something. Is it still very, very strong as a team and way too strong for Midtjylland?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't seen much of Midtjylland. Only watched highlights of the Atalanta game last week, and it didn't look bad. Atalanta scored a few good goals, but I still think we should have too much for them. It'll be interesting just to see if Minamino's in the 10 and Shaq's out right, or whether Shaq's in the 10 and Minamino, I don't know, is he up top or Origi out the right? It's kind of hard to figure out. But
well, it is because I've those four have been mentioned for, as I said, from late last night. Those four have been mentioned as the front four, and I've seen people say, no, you might go with Jota up front, you might drop Origi left, you might go with Minamino up front. You could literally play, probably bar Shaqiri, you could play any of them up front, that kind of way. And then, but to me, it seems like when you look at these four, especially when you looked at the weekend, the interchanging was huge. Trying to interchange players. In certain circumstances, you may see Shaqiri out left, you may see him out right, you may see him in the 10. It's all about movement. The only thing I would say is if Origi is playing, if he's not playing off the left, he's going to go up front, and I don't see him interchanging a hell of a lot. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, pretty much, because I don't think I've ever seen him hardly out on the right, and he's not a 10, so as you say, if he's not off the left, he's up top, and he hasn't really done it, as I say. He doesn't do a lot of movement. He just kind of stays in the one place. So Yeah. Hard to figure out.
We'll have to wait and see. Of course, the bench is ADRIAN, Wijnaldum, Firmino, Mane, Salah, Curtis Jones, Nico and Reece Williams, Kane and Kelleher, 2 goalkeepers on the bench. So, look, there's plenty on the bench there. We're in trouble. You know, you have got 5 subs in the Champions League, of course, as opposed to the Premier League. But, of course, we're on 9,999 goals officially for Liverpool. There's going to be a 10,000. Before I let you go, give me a score prediction. I need the scorers, and of course, most importantly, the first goal scorer that will make it the 10,000 goal for Liverpool.
Okay, I know there's a big thing for Origi scoring an important goal. Yeah. I think Minamino myself.
Okay.
We back him to score the first.
Okay.
And I think we won it 3 or 4-0.
Okay.
The second, I'll go with Jota.
Okay.
And then the third, I'll go with Salah coming off the bench. I'll go 3-0.
Okay, 3-0. Happy days. I'm more than happy with that, Barry. Barry, of course, is a regular in our chat, and people are watching now going, what the fuck's Barry doing there? Well, it's very simple. When we're doing these before games now, and we might do it afterwards as well, depending on the way the fixtures fall, we're going to send out a link into our Flick Sport app, into our chat room. You get it there, you click on it, you come in and you talk like Barry has just done, and he's done it really well, in fairness to him. Barry, I'm going to let you go. Thanks a million for joining us, and listen, enjoy the game, and join us at 10 o'clock as well for the match reaction.
No problem. Happy days. Thanks, Gav.
Cheers, pal. See you in a bit.
All the best. All right, bye.
Bye-bye. Barry there, lovely fella, talks a lot of sense, probably more than me in fairness. And look, he's gone for a 3-0 win. I think that'll be a popular score. Up next, Chris Brack has joined me. Not from the conservatory, it looks like from the living room. He's been allowed into the living room today for some reason. Chris, that lineup is there. It's one that, as I was saying to Barry there a couple of seconds ago, it's very much expected, the lineup. What are you making of this?
Yeah, it's a little surprising. I was perhaps wasn't expecting as many changes as that, but it's a good opportunity for the French players, and he's got to think. He must just think our French team can get a job done. It's a bit like a League Cup side he's picked, really.
It's very League Cuppy.
It is very League Cuppy, but I suppose when you look at the other teams coming up, West Ham at home, Atalanta away, City away. Out the 4 games, you'd say this is probably the most routine on paper. So, I suppose you've got to rotate it at some point, otherwise we are running the risk of more injuries, and we could do that anymore, to be honest. Yeah.
The front 4. What are you making of this? Because no, actually, I'll leave the front 4 for a minute. Hendo and Milner in the middle of midfield. Now, I thought Milner was poor last week against Ajax. I'm going to be honest with you. He was in a midfield 3, but I thought he was poor. Other people didn't. And look, people see games completely different from one person to the next. But I don't know how much Midtjylland are going to come at us tonight. I don't know how much interact, how much intricate play they're going to have in front of our back 4. I don't know how many runners they're going to have in midfield to try to get beyond Henderson and Milner. Is it a case of Liverpool have looked at this and said, no, listen, these are just going to sit in, and these 2 lads in the middle of midfield have more than enough to control the game, pick up loose balls, dictate, and pin these lads in for the vast majority?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of that. I mean, Milner wasn't great against Ajax, but one thing he was good at was he allowed Robertson to bomb on, and it was quite often you saw Milner at left back while Robertson was left wing. So both him and Henderson are very good at filling in, which helps us out. I also think historically, Danish sides are quite physical, and I'll be honest, that's the one thing Henderson and Milner like. They like a physical game. They like it's a game where you throw a tackle and it feels like what they need. And to be honest, when you've got such a flamboyant front 4, as I would say, because they're all quite unpredictable in different ways. I think having the 2 grown-ups in the middle probably helps, and also the 2 grown-ups in the middle helps protect a new centre-back partnership. So I think that's probably what they've got them into there for, just a bit more experience, just to calm it down in case it gets a little bit silly.
Are you not a bit surprised? Because I am. I'm a bit surprised by the formation, because I would have liked to see Curtis Jones get another go. I think it would have been fairer to give Curtis Jones a go in a midfield 3 tonight rather than a midfield 3 away at Ajax. Are you a bit surprised that he didn't do a midfield 3 and get Curtis Jones in there for more experience? Because I think it'll help him massively, even if he's seen more action in the Champions League group stages than he is in the league. I think the different styles of play to come across, most notably people trying to attack you in the Champions League, would be a massive help for him.
Yeah, I mean, my gut feeling, probably the weekend before this league team came out, was it'd almost be the Ajax 11 again, apart from the keeper swap. I thought he'll just go with that again, which I thought that's solid enough. I just wonder, perhaps he wants to do this. Perhaps 4-2-3-1 is his go-to formation for the next 4 or 5 games. Perhaps he thinks that's the way to go through. Well, probably up, maybe not for City, but perhaps the others he just thought 4-2-3-1 will get me through this, and perhaps with Midtjylland he thinks it doesn't really matter. So I don't know if he just wants to get the team and the squad used to this formation again, but he's got no training time really now because of how quick the games are. So perhaps he's also using this as an opportunity to get used to it.
It could be. Kieran B asks, has the lineup been named? It has. For anybody that may have missed it, it's Alisson in goal. Trent, Fabinho, Joe Gomez and Robbo are your back four. Hendo and Milner in a 2 in midfield. Shaqiri, Minamino and Jota look like they're lining up behind Origi. Adrian, Gino Wijnaldum, Firmino, Mane, Salah, Jones, Reece and Nico Williams, Kane and Kelleher on the bench. So look, it's one of those where again we look like we're resting people. There's a lot. If you want to throw in your predictions, absolutely throw them in. But you know the rules. You have to give your predictions and you have to give scorers. We don't let you away with just it'll be 3-0, and we like to push it a little bit more. Kev O'Sullivan says, I like the idea of Shaqiri in midfield, especially if the fullbacks can get wide. It's a good point. He may look like, you see, this is the thing. If the fullbacks are looking to get wide, and it's a good point by Kev, in fairness to him, Chris, if the fullbacks are looking to get forward, which they usually do, you know, it could be a case of playing Minamino off the left and Shaqiri off the right, and they both tuck in to look for that creativity. But there's plenty of options up front, though, isn't there?
Definitely plenty of options up front. I think Kev's got a good point there, because I think he did that against it was Leicester, Lincoln. He kept dropping it. He kept dropping quite deep, which we haven't seen Shaqiri do very often, to be honest. It's not really renowned to be his game, but maybe just a different way of using him. Plus, that it keeps him out of Robinson and Trent's way for getting across. Because at the moment, I would say at the start of the season, Rob's probably been the more effective of the two.
I think it could be a good night for Trent. I really do.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think it might be. Zed Malik is straight in. This is what we like to see. 3-0, Jota with 2 and Minamino. I'd love to see Minamino get a goal. I was so impressed with him away at Ajax last weekend, or last midweek. I just thought he was brilliant. Jota got a lot of the plaudits when he came on, and rightfully so. He was very, very good when he came on. Shaqiri worked very, very hard. But Minamino for me was just, he's so classy. He's so classy. I mean, I hope he shows it. And, you know, I'm nearly hesitant to say it, Chris, because we've done all this with Naby Keita. You know, if he just gets in the team, and if he it's not an injury thing with Minamino. I just need to get him in the team. I need to see more minutes from him, because I think if we do, I think his quality is brilliant. It's absolutely, it really is. It's brilliant. Patsy OB says 4-0, Hendo, Shaqiri, Jota and Taki. Nice. I like that. Kev O'Sullivan has Minamino and Milner in a 2-0 win. Obviously, he's gone for the no penalty from Milner there, Chris, isn't he?
Clearly.
Yeah, Darren Orr says it's written in the stars for Origi to get the 10,000 goal. It probably is, Darren.
Yeah,
it probably is.
It would be very Origi, that, wouldn't it?
It absolutely would. Listen, well, there's more comments coming in there, Chris. I'll let you stay with me because no one else is joining us. They've got the link. They've got the link, and they're going, I'm not going on fucking screen with him. No way. Don't be afraid. Just click the link. I think I have the link here. Can I post it back up here? I can't. There it is. The link is there. If you just want to do it through your phone or whatever, you can come on. 2 or 3 minutes. It's no problem. We're not going to judge you. 100%. We've all been there when we've done our first ever podcast, and it's nerve-wracking. It is, but just get on and talk football. It doesn't matter. We talk shite most days of the week, so I wouldn't worry about it. But just to go off, yeah, and I'm trying. But just to go off the game for a little bit, while the stuff is going there, Matt Lewis has gone big. He's gone big on Minamino on a hat-trick. But Matt, the problem there is you haven't given us a final score. Or is it 3-0 you're going for? Let me see. Amanda Roncon Dilma says, I hope Origi and Shaqiri have a good game. I think it's big for them to have a big game. I think they're probably the two that have to prove the most. Just the way their standing isn't the squad. They need to show something. And in fairness, Shaqiri did last week. And it's probably something you wouldn't expect from him. You're expecting the intricate through balls and, beating players and stuff. But his walk rate against Ajax was absolutely brilliant. Kevin Sullivan says he can't find the earphones. Well, he's out. Avo the third says, I'm naked in the bath. Do you really want me to join in? You walk away, brother. If we're letting Nilo and a drunk Phil on shows last night, listen, you walk away. Nilo was there drinking and smoking and everything. It was like a scene from the fucking Rovers Return. It was, but just to get away from the game for a little minute, Liverpool, of course, released photos today of the new training complex. It will be called the AXA Training Centre, I think they're calling it, something along them lines. Obviously, it's a big sponsorship deal with AXA, and some people, Chris, have been a bit, I don't like the name, but they're just so used to Melwood, but this is the way the game's gone, and I've seen people, Chris, saying, look, we're moving away from what we should be and stuff. You have to move away, Chris, don't you? You have to move with the times. As much as I'm not a big fan of them, I would have loved them to call it, just keep calling it Melwood and move on, but it's just the way the game's gone, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, a lot of this, you've got to be careful with this, but a lot of it's like, we've got away from what we used to do. We fell into that trap in the 90s. We just always do things the same way. And it took us 30 years to get back to where it is. Whether you like it or not, people have been naming training complexes for years. I mean, United gets something like £17 million a year just for calling it the Ion Training Complex. They also refer to it as Carrington, but it's called the Ion Training Complex.
Is it DHL?
It might be DHL.
It might be DHL or something.
But you know what I mean? Nobody even knows who the sponsor is. Nobody cares. But they're paying £20 million a year to put a name on it.
Sorry, Barry Devaney says it's 140 million for 8 years partnership with Aon. I thought it was DHL, but obviously it is. It's Aon. Go on.
Yeah, but either way, I mean, it's kind of the way it goes, and the way to look at it is, if it's better facilities, because I've been to Melwood, I've done the Melwood tour. It's great, but it's not big. Whereas this has been the big criticism of Liverpool is we can never get all the teams like the under-23s and the under-18s all under one roof. Yeah. My only criticism of the training complex, for me personally, is there's no place for the women's team in it, and I sort of think if you're going to do the whole we're all in it together, all one club, you probably should have done that, because City have done that with their women's team. I think United women's team also train there. That's the only thing. That's the only slight negative I can find for it. But it's great because then it'll be a bit.
And is it 100% that the women's team won't train at that complex? Okay.
Yeah, it's not even in the plans. They've got to stay at Tranmere.
Okay.
So
no, what I mean is,
League Two,
are they going to train at that complex?
No, they train at Tranmere.
So do you train at Prenton Park?
They train. What's it called?
Could it be a case that they have a deal with Tranmere and Tranmere are reliant on the money, and when that deal runs out, they could move towards?
It ends next year, and someone I know who's a resident for where Melwood was, they asked. So the plans for the women to move here, and the club outright said no plans.
Okay.
Now that may change. They may change because they've got a new director lady there. So actually, she's very highly thought of. So she may kick this up a level. But forget away from the negative. It looks great. It looks exactly what you want, and it's going to inspire players. Because also the other thing is now Jurgen Klopp from his office now can look at the under-23s train and pick someone out and go like, I can see him train. At him. Yeah, I like to look at him. Give him rather than saying, can you bring someone from Kirby up to Melwood and then I'll see if they're any good. He's probably been able to sit and watch him for 2 weeks and go, yeah, he looked Kane, like who's on the bench now. He looks ready now. Actually, do you know what? Let's get him trained with the first team for a couple of weeks. And then it gives everyone the inspiration of, they're only there. So if I don't pull my finger out, I've got no excuse because the boss can see me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think little things like that always help, I think.
Absolutely. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. It looks fabulous. I have to say the pitches and everything else. We've seen some leaked footage as well from walkers that are there and wanted to show their mates, and the pitches look absolutely sublime, to be perfectly honest with you. Chris, before I let you go, give us a score prediction and scores for tonight, please.
I'll go 4-0, same as the Atalanta game.
Okay, and
I'm going to go Hendo. I want Hendo first goal if he can get it.
Yeah.
Hendo, Jota, Minamino, and I think Origi will get one.
Okay, no worries. Good stuff.
And if it goes to like 3 or 4-0, I don't think the front three even get on. Which would be a nice blessing, to be honest.
Yeah, they might get 10-15 minutes just to keep them ticking over. They may do. Right, Chris, I'm going to let you go. Chris is down for 4-0. And we'll talk to you, Chris. I'm sure we'll be back in the chat at 10 o'clock, yeah?
Yeah, no worries, mate. See you at 10. See you later, mate.
Good stuff.
Bye.
Be good. Bye-bye. Yeah, that was Chris. Chris is on with us. Chris started off as a viewer to this show and jumped on a podcast one night because he knows a hell of a lot about football, in particular Liverpool, and in particular he's really good at quizzes. If you need a quiz, mate, on Liverpool Football Club, Chris is he's right up there. I'm going to be honest with you. I've left a comment on the screen for a little while there. Jacob Zimmerman says, is there a post-match show tonight? Yes, there is. The midweek fix will be with you at 10 o'clock as a post-match reaction. This show is the extra show that we're putting on, and we're going to try do it before every game. As I said, an hour before kick-off, we probably do a half an hour, give you a chance to go off then, get your cup of tea or your cans or whatever you do watching the match, sit down and get ready for the 8 o'clock kick-off. Joining me now is another viewer. He's a moderator on this channel as well. Kev O'Sullivan is with me. Kev, how are you, my man?
Not too bad, mate. How are you keeping? You well?
Good. I just put more work on myself, Kev, to be honest with you. You know, I should be sitting down now counting how many smokes I haven't seen if I have to go to the garage to get more, and I'm not. I'm on talking to all these people. But it's an absolute pleasure, I have to say. There's loads of people watching, which is brilliant. And
it's good to see.
More we get on, the more we get on, the better. And listen, people are always asking for interaction with us and with the viewers and stuff like that. We get plenty of it in the chat, but we thought we'd do something where you can actually interact, have a chat, have a row if you want. One
this
of those.
is a good innovation.
Yeah, so we're going to do it before games.
Hopefully people can share it onto their timelines as well, and the more interaction you get, especially in the chat, you notice it now, especially in the last 3 months, the chat interaction with everyone talking with each other, as well as communicating with everyone on the pod. It only creates a better show, and that's all we all want. That's what everyone who's contributing, everyone who's hosting. That's what everyone's in this for. It's just we're all fans at the end of the day, and we just, rather than type it out on Twitter, it's lovely to be able to come on here and just have a chat about it. Especially when it's immediate. I mean, I saw the lineup tonight, and I'll be honest, I'm nervous now. I don't like the system. I don't like the two-man midfield. I think the two-man midfield with THIAGO is a different kettle of fish, because THIAGO controls the play, dictates the play. Everything goes through him. He attracts the ball, and he has a shift. Milner and Henderson, they make me nervous. I mean, this is European football. Midtjylland will look at this and think they're taking the mickey with us here.
Yeah,
and they're used to winning games. They know how to win games. This is going to be when the draw was made. We're going to Anfield. This is the English champions. The Premier League is huge in Scandinavia. You don't know how big the Premier League is in Scandinavia until you hear people like Jan Molby when they talk about it. It's massive. Liverpool is one of the, if not the biggest club in Scandinavia. This is a huge scalp for them, and they're going to fancy it. And we've put in a two-man midfield who, let's be fair, they've got mileage in the legs, and a four-man attack who've never played together. Origi, I can't remember the last time he played. He's going to be cold. He's got no form of any note coming into this. Taki, yeah, he looks great. He's got a snap in his pass. He looks fantastic. He hasn't scored. Shaq, same. You know, and Jota's learning the ropes. Jota's learning the patterns of play from everyone else. I'm nervous now.
I can't wait for you to tell me we're going to win 3-0 now in a minute and give me 3.
I think we'll win 2-0. I think we'll win 2-0 because we can keep the ball. And Trent and Robbo are, well, the back four is the back four, and Alisson is there.
I think we're in.
I think that's security.
I think we show some intent on what we're doing, and there's an intensity to our game. I think we pen these in for the vast majority. That's the way I look at it. They were beaten 4-0 at home by they were beaten 4-0 at home by Atalanta last week, and as much as people love Atalanta, they're not that good. You know, I don't think
they are.
Atalanta they're not. Sampdoria beat them 3-1. Sampdoria beat them 3-1 in Bergamo over the weekend.
I know, but Atalanta are one of these sides. When they're on it, they're like Napoli at times. When Napoli faced us, they had our number. Atalanta are a very open attacking side of misfits.
Suits us down to the ground.
They're rejects from other clubs, and this guy has managed to bond them and get them playing open attacking football. And when they're allowed to play, they're fantastic to play. But for us, they're tailor-made. They really are. They're going to come and have a go at us, and we'll pick them off. But this tonight, I just don't like that front four together. I wish there was a mix.
The only thing I would say is
play lads for 60 minutes and change it. Get the win and change it.
But the only thing I would say to you, Kev, is that if 3 of that 4 came on last week in Ajax, right? And the 3 of them looked very good, very hard working, knew where to be, closed off, passing lanes, pressed well, got into space, got down the channels, created, really, really good. The big one for me is Origi. Where does he play? I'd probably play him off the left because you get a bit more movement out of him. If you put him up front, he becomes a bit static for me. That's just the way it is. Zed Malik says, who was the better season, Gav, Jota or Werner? I think it's going to be very hard to judge. I think Werner's going to start a hell of a lot more games than Jota will. But overall, I don't know. I think Werner's very, 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 very good. It's just a case of whether Lampard can get the best out of him.
I think Werner needs 5 chances to score 2. He'll get the chances and he'll score goals. But that was the problem with Werner all the time. Even when he plays for Germany, he misses an awful lot. And even so far in his start for Chelsea, he gets in great positions. For someone who gets in the positions he does, playing in the position that he does, he should bag an awful lot more goals. If he could finish like a Thomas Muller, if you're looking at German national team, he would be up there. You'd be talking Mbappe levels.
The only thing I would say about him is, and it looks like to me already, he's being shifted around a bit at Chelsea, and that may be a problem. Like I think Timo Werner should be just playing up front for Chelsea. Right, you have enough behind where you can play a 3 behind him or play, a Havertz and whoever else off each side of him. He should be just put up front for me. And if he wants to walk off the left hand side a bit like Henry always used to like doing, fair enough, go and do that. I think he's just being moved. I think he's being moved around a bit. Brian Murray says, "Nice haircut, Gav, before lockdown. Thanks a million, bud." And Ray Brady of the LFC Daytrippers Parish said, "What the fuck's going on with that beard? Bring the beard back." I couldn't, man. I look like a bleeding hobo, and but my head is freezing. My head is fucking freezing now. I'm being honest with you. I can't go out without putting a hat on now. Somebody else says, Chemical Kev says, get that blue hoodie off you, Gav. It's not a blue hoodie. It's a blue Puma golf top. Because I'm still mourning the fact that golf clubs are closed as of now and for the next 5 weeks or so.
5 weeks.
It's horrendous, and it's an absolutely horrendous decision. It's worse than any VAR decision you've ever seen, the fact that they've closed golf clubs, and I mean that. How I can go out into a field, I don't know how we're getting onto this, but we will, how I can walk out onto a field with people and walk, for the sake of exercise, and walk around, but can't go through the gates of a golf club onto what's basically a field and walk around for the purpose of exercise. It's absolutely utterly beyond me. But the Golf Union of Ireland refused to explain why.
You're lucky in one way, because where you live, at least in Dublin, if you go 5 kilometres, you've got things to do. There's things to see. I go 5 kilometres any direction here, and all I see is green.
Well, I have a lovely big field outside of the house now, and I've actually gone and got artificial grass, which I'm going to cut a square out of the field and put the artificial grass down so I can hit golf balls on now. That's the truth. For the next 5 weeks, I've ran it past the neighbourhood association, and they seem okay with it.
They all want to come and join. They got nothing better to do.
Well, I could charge a fee, couldn't I, to play on my field? Yeah. I'll just call it my field from here on in.
Typical W. There's always a coin in it.
Yeah, fucking.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you're a Kerryman. Is your name Healy Ray or something?
I wouldn't wear the hats. Come here, before I let you go, because we're getting towards the end of our half an hour show. I know you're nervous. I see where the nerves are coming from. I do think it will depend on intensity and stuff like that. Score prediction and scorers, Kev.
I think 2-0. I think Milner. I said Milner and Taki. I'll stick with that. I'd love to see Milner actually go into the record books for something other than being a hard worker.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Okay. It'd be nice. The guys in the consummate. I actually remember his debut. I was watching that on telly. I remember the shirt he was wearing, the shirt hanging off him at 16 years of age. Because David O'Leary was at Leeds at the time, so there was a big interest from Ireland of what was going on at Leeds. And to see this young, scrawny little kid
2001, was it? In around there?
Yeah, something like that. It was way back. And to see, the man is an absolute consummate professional athlete. And I absolutely love him. But, I'd love to see him get in the books for that. I think it'd be nice.
Yeah, I think Chris wanted Henderson to get it. I think that's a great shout as well. But you know what? Having said that, I wouldn't deprive any of them. I wouldn't hold it against any of them. When you look at players more or less starting the Liverpool career. The likes of Jota, the likes of even Minamino. You know, it'd be absolutely great. Curtis Jones comes off the bench, maybe, if we're struggling and gets one. You don't know, or you never.
No,
you never know.
It'd be nice to get a clean sheet. You start getting in a habit of clean sheets. Give the back four a bit of confidence.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
That'd be 200 bounce. That's a nice habit to be getting into, especially this time of season when the fixtures are going to come thick and fast. Keep getting the clean sheets. You get clean sheets, you pick 3 points up.
Yeah,
especially with the attackers we got.
Absolutely.
All right, lad.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to let you go.
And so I'll see you later on.
Yeah, 10 o'clock. See you then, my man.
Not a bother.
Be good. I think that's our last guest. I'm going to be honest with you. We're about 30 minutes in now. We're just on 30 minutes. Let me know what you think of this show. If you think it's brutal, just tell me. I'm not going to get upset. But if you want, let us know what you think about it. Let us know if you'd be interested in coming on. It's very easy. You know, 3 lads done that tonight. Not a bother to them. I know Chris is a bit more experienced than Kev. Kev's been on a few times though. And of course Barry bit the bullet very early and went straight in, and fair play to him. But listen, if you like the show, let us know. Don't forget to hit the like button, share. If you've just come across this and you're wondering what's going on here, hit the subscribe button. There's loads of content throughout the week, whether it's, you know, now pre-game, post-game stuff, Sunday night stuff, Monday night stuff, Friday night stuff where we preview the Premier League. There's loads of stuff. Zed Malik says, how do I make an appearance? Well, Zed, the easiest way to do it, and I'll tell people in case they missed, there is an app called FlickSport app, okay? You can download it on your Apple or your Android device. You download it, it will ask you to join a group. You type in the name Trippers Chats, all one word, Trippers Chats. You go in there, there's Liverpool fans in there, there's about 100 of them at the moment. We're going to keep growing it as we go. But you go in there, you can chat about lineups, your best team you've ever seen, pick your best Liverpool 11, there's quizzes, there's polls, there's all sorts of stuff going on in there. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to release a link about an hour before the show starts, or half an hour before the show starts. You click on that link via tablet, laptop, phone, and stick a set of earphones in, and it literally brings you into a studio. You put you type your name in and you enter the studio, and we can bring you on and off. It's really that simple. So if you want to, you are more than welcome to come on. We're going to try it again now at the weekend when we play West Ham. And again, it's going to be somebody hosting, i.e. probably me or Keith for the foreseeable until we get a couple more lads in situ for that. And they're just going to let you come in and they're going to say what you want to say, and they'll take you out and put other people in, trying to get as many people on as we can. It's called the Flick Sport app. I'm actually going to type it onto the screen now. Let me see. There you go. It's on the screen now for you, okay? He's downloading it now. Zed is downloading it now. Good man yourself. And listen, don't be afraid to come on. Don't come on and think, what are I getting nervous? Don't. Just come on. Have a chat. You're going to know the lineup. You're going to know what you think of the lineup. You're going to know what you think the game might go. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to tell us. If you literally want to come on and go, I like the lineup, I like this, I like that, I think 3-0, and you want to leave after 40 seconds, you go ahead and do that. This is all about people coming on, giving their views, and of course giving them live on YouTube as well. But listen, that's about it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Most people seem to have enjoyed it. People are asking where the app is and stuff like that. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's been really good. Enjoy the game. That's the most important thing. Enjoy the game. Liverpool versus Midtjylland, Anfield, 8 p.m. 26 minutes from now. And following the game, 10 p.m, we will be back with the midweek fix with match reaction, of course. It's going to be Keith hosting. Guests will be myself, Grizz, and Peter Smith. So it should be an absolute cracking show. As I said, download that app. Get it there. Get chatting all week with Liverpool fans about all sorts of stuff, and keep an eye out for the links before the games, all right? Be good. Over now.